Hello patrons, and welcome back to my channel. So carried on with the painting process of the USS Texas, and I kind of wanted to make these little videos a little bit more exclusive for patron viewers, because a lot of this what I'm showing you now won't be seen at all in the final cut. In fact, out of this 8-minute video, it's probably only going to be around about 30 seconds of this priming process that will actually be seen in the end video. But I'm starting off, obviously, right at the start, I just using a mix of 50% of Mr. Leveler thinner, and I was using a mixture as well called Mr. Finisher Service Grey. So I'm just mixing that in a ratio of around about 50-50. I kind of like to be a little bit more scientific when I mix my paints, and I actually use little mini scales and I kind of just weigh them out. So I use 5 grams of leveling thinner, and I use 5 grams of the Mr. Finisher as well. So you can see from this process, all I'm really doing is just kind of attacking the model from different sides. I'm just light passes. Even though you can kind of see quite a lot of spray, it's that's because I'm right next to the side of the extractor fan, so you can see it all being drawn away from the model. But it's just a case of like hitting it from every side, and it's just, if you can watch, then kind of never leave the airbrush from moving. It's pretty much it's never stopping. It's pretty much light passes, and then kind of like avoid the area then, and then start on a different area. So now I'm just like passing a few times over the whole. And even though this is only in like a 1/350 scale, it's still quite a large model to be sprayed. There's such a lot of brass etching parts that needed covering. In this case, just keep passing over, just try and cover it a little bit, and then with one pass, and then move on to the next area, and then kind of come back until I'd probably built up 2 or 3 layers of primer on this shape. Looking in real time, this took me around about 40 minutes, and it's just a case of just kind of like, you're kind of turning the models in around about probably 8 directions, where you're kind of coming from the side, and you're coming from the top, underneath, and then you're coming from like 45-degree angles, and just keep moving it around until you kind of, after about 45 minutes of spraying, I've pretty much got it all covered. I was glad to say, you can see I'm using the this airbrush. This is a brand new Bart Sharp airbrush. I actually bought this with the contributions from patrons. I'd saved up a little bit of the money I'd received from patrons so far, and that actually helped me to fund that airbrush. It's a mid-range airbrush. It cost around about £55, which is kind of, it's kind of mid-range. I used to have a quite cheap one around about £10, and I could really notice the difference between like that one in the new Bart Sharp. And I actually watched I watch a few YouTubers who obviously, and I kind of watched a few different ones using different obviously airbrushes. I used to have a Badger one around about 10 years ago, but obviously that was around about £200 airbrush, and I couldn't afford that, and the time and the climate we're in. So I was kind of like looking out for an airbrush that would serve my purpose, and I found this. It's a guy I follow on YouTube. It's Alex Modeling, and he uses this Bart Sharp airbrush, and the level of quality that his models he makes is superb. So I thought I'd give it a go. Yeah, and I got no faults with it at all. Okay, so when I decided to build this model, and pretty much why I decided to build it all completely complete, is I'd seen that pretty much following the painting and masking guide that came with the Trumpeter kit, it was pretty much only ran about 4 colours. So I thought I could pretty much get away with building it 100% complete, and then obviously spraying it after. But looking back, it's probably, if I could have the chance again, I would have probably left the bridge section off on the 4 and the art bridge. I'd have left them off, and kind of so, and I wouldn't have added all the AA guns until the last minute. I can still paint it fine, and I can still, but all it's going to do is just going to take me a lot longer than I planned. But it's still going to work out okay. But it's just going to be a little bit more challenging. Okay, so now it's pretty much just moving on to the little turrets. And I've got obviously I have loads of dowel there knocking around. Obviously we're building HMS Victory. So it's just a case I just cut some lengths of 8mm dowel down, and it was pretty much the perfect match for that diameter hole in the bottom of the turrets. And that worked perfect. And like I say, same again, I'm just pretty much just turning it all the time, just keeping it moving, keeping the airbrush moving, and also keeping the part moving, so it never has enough time for it just to kind of stay in one place for too long, so we don't get no paint build up. As like you see, I'm spinning, I'm coming from beneath it, and I'll spin again, and then once that's had a layer, I'll come back on the top. Okay, so after I've painted all the 5 turrets, I decided just to give the hull a complete second coat. Pretty much happy with the coverage with the primer on all the superstructure part, so I just thought I'd just kind of give the hull section one more coat, and that was pretty much all the priming done. If you notice, I kind of rolled my sleeves up on this part because I didn't want to kind of spray my new shirt. But you can see on this section, I'm pretty much not moving my left hand at all. It's only moving slightly, and I'm actually, all the control is actually being moved from the part. So that's pretty much wrapping up this this little video, this first part, just the priming section. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your continuing support. I'm going to try and get as more videos out as possibly can, and I'll see you all again soon.